Hello guys, today we're gonna make an easy, gluten-free, delicious, healthier stuffing. Okay, so this is a bread stuffing, but we're gonna be using gluten-free bread, and it's gonna be super delicious, super simple and easy. And I have been working on my my stuffing game, okay? Throughout these past few years, I've been really working on trying to improve it and make it the best. So we made a stuffing recipe last year. Actually, you know, stuffing, the term stuffing is actually for when you make it and stuff it into a bird, but dressing is when you make it and cook it by itself. So that's what technically we're making dressing, bread dressing. Last time we made cornbread dressing. Anyway, corn stuffing dressing, who cares what the name is? We're gonna make it. It's November and Thanksgiving is gonna be coming upon us. If you're in Canada, sorry, Thanksgiving already passed, but you can make it for Christmas if you want. And like I said, this is a super easy recipe, so we're gonna just dive right into it. We're not gonna waste any time. The first thing that you wanna do is I took a whole loaf of gluten-free, like a loaf of gluten-free French loaf of bread, cut it up into cubes, medium-sized, and then I stuck it in the oven at 250 degrees Fahrenheit. And I let that cook for about 30 minutes, and then I turned off the oven, opened up the door, and let it sit in there for another 10 minutes. Anyways, I've heard some people cook it at 200 for an hour. I've heard some people cook it at 250 for 45 minutes. You just want the bread dry so that it absorbs the flavors of, you know, the veggies that we're gonna cook and the delicious broth. Make sure that you use a really good broth in this recipe. That's super important. I cannot stress that enough. It's gonna really make the difference between having a really good stuffing or dressing and having a stuffing and dressing that's okay and lacking in flavor. So you really wanna get a good broth, okay? And flavorful. I always use low sodium, but I try to use my favorite brand, which is Imagine. So that's what you wanna start off and do, and then we're gonna proceed with the other steps. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. We have all our veggies cut here on our board, okay? So we're just gonna go throw these in. So in my pan here, I have a little bit of melted butter, about a tablespoon. You can use a little bit of broth if you don't wanna use butter, and you wanna stay low fat even on Thanksgiving. Hey, your house, your rules, whatever. But the options are out there. You can use a bit of broth, or you can use a bit of butter of choice. I like to use a tablespoon, maybe two, not a whole stick of butter. We're not gonna go crazy here. So I'm gonna throw in my celery. Okay, so about 2 stalks of celery. We're gonna throw in our onion. Got a little mushroom in there. And so I did about 1 small onion. And we're gonna throw in about a cup of chopped mushrooms, just for some extra veggies in here. We have our oven preheating. Throw in the rest of these mushrooms. Forgot to take my bread out. So there's our bread. I have some gluten-free bread over there. So we're just gonna cook this until the veggies are nice and tender. So this is the bread. I have 1 loaf of gluten-free bread. You can use whatever bread you want. Wow, this is really dried out, so it should be good. The drier the bread is, the better, because it'll really absorb that liquid and all the flavors and everything. And so yeah, I have 5 cups of bread, 5 cups of chopped. Once you chop the bread, it should equal up to 5 cups. Now, if you're doing an even huger batch, you can do 10 cups, you can double the recipe. But for this batch, 5 cups of diced bread of choice. We're going to add some sea salt and pepper, okay? And then we have, of course, our broth over here that we're going to add once we mix everything together, and our poultry seasoning. Very important. Again, this is a very simple recipe. I don't know why this won't focus. Very simple recipe. You need to cook out the water in these mushrooms. So we want to make sure all the water has cooked out. All right, the veggies are nice and tender now. There we go. So we're just going to combine everything. So this is about the size that I did them. Our vegetable mixture here. That, guys, remember I told you that we're supposed to add some salt and pepper over the Checking, make sure I didn't do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Salt and pepper. 3/4 cup and 2 tablespoons of broth. Just gonna go ahead and start adding it here. 1 teaspoon of poultry seasoning. And this has like all the spices in it. It has thyme, it has sage, it has rosemary, black pepper, nutmeg, marjoram. So it has all of these spices. So I'm gonna add in the rest of my broth. And then I always like to add in a flax egg. I just did 1 tablespoon of golden flaxseed. You can use whatever ground flax you have, and 2 tablespoons of water. That's the consistency. And we're just going to pour that in there as well. I like, you know, for you to dig in there and, you know, the stuffing just stays together well. So, and it's extra nutrition. All right. We need all the extra nutrition we can get because we're really eating it up here. So there we go. And again, like I said, taste it. I'm gonna go ahead and pour it. I have my dish that has been buttered here. We just don't want it to stick. So we're gonna go ahead and pour it into this dish. Again, this is the time where you taste it. Taste it now, adjust the seasonings, or forever hold your peace. So I'm gonna taste it really quickly. Could use a little bit more salt. Try it again to taste it. Oh, that's good. This dish is probably too big for this. Put foil on it, bake it at 400 to 25 minutes, take the foil off, bake it an additional 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so this is going in the oven, and I'll be back once it's done. We cooked it, baked it for 25 minutes at 400 with foil, and then we took the foil off and we baked it an additional, and do it 10 to 15 minutes. So let's try it. We're gonna taste the stuffing, guys. And let's see which side I want to go from. All right. And again, I probably will use a smaller pan because I like to have depth with my stuffing. This is just kind of flat, but whatever. We're gonna taste it. Oh, I forgot to say, I added some raisins to the mix as well. Yes, guys, yes. I like that little punch of sweetness from the raisins. I love it. The holidays coming up. It's a great stuffing recipe. I also have my cornbread dressing stuffing as well that you can check out. But this is great and it's gluten-free. I will see you guys again very soon. Have a great day. And I'm excited about Thanksgiving coming up, Christmas. I'm excited. So I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye.